are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. I've just unmuted you all from my end so that you can then choose to mute and unmute yourselves. Yeah, I've just put something in the chat. If one of you can just respond, that'd be great. Okay, so is it possible for the guys that are all sat in the same room? Right, so which three of you were in there? Joanna, Charlotte, and Rebecca and Claire. Right, so Charlotte, you're top of my list, so I'm just going to unmute you. Can you hear me?
Is he on?
Okay.
I've got it because it's like the chat about something else.
Okay, so hi, I've unmuted yourself, Charlotte. Claire, Charlotte, if you just want to mute yourself, but then just means that you can unmute yourself as you need. Great, thank you. So thanks for joining the IQA session. There's a couple of ways that you can do this. You've either got the questions or the chat function, as we've just used, or you can unmute yourself to ask questions. The reason I just unmuted one of you was just because the background noise was quite high. So I'm just going to share my screen now, and we'll cover off the IQA side of Learning Assistant. Have you all been using this already, or is this going to be the first time that you've been using it? First time, fab. So Joe used it briefly. So start off by setting up a sample plan for you. Now, the IQA part of the system is very basic. People will either love it or hate it. It is being redeveloped at the moment by myself. So I used to be an assessor in IQA. So I'm not entirely happy with the IQA platform. It needs to go down in a bit more detail, but it does work to be able to plan and to verify your units. So any questions as we're going along, just let me know, and we'll I'll have a look on the chat to see if they pop up. So this is your IQA homepage. And what you'll see. So on the right hand side of my screen, I have got there at the moment. So that is if your system admin or your managers put any. Your centre homepage has got your welcome note, and you can see in the red. Now every now and then we will put in times of things that needed to happen. If it's green, it's normally an update is coming. If there's maintenance, it'll be in red, but that's just to let you know there's going to be some downtime. The next bit is key. So what we call your avatar is when people have sent you a message, signed off, and a submission digest. I'd recommend that would be daily rather than per entry. So turn all your notifications on and make sure your email address is in there, and then press save. You've also got your preferences function in there. So that is how you view Learning Assistant. The text to be bigger, how you see the learner's overview. At the moment, their progression and who their assessor is. These options as well. So you might want to see when the learner was last contacted. Okay, and press submit. So that will save all of them changes for you. Now coming back to, as you can see, and some of them you don't have to put in a date, it's just an option when we come to setting up the sample plan. Awaiting verification, so this is up here or that unit, something to be aware of that you might need to pass on to them. So along them, then these are step-by-step videos done by me and some others on how to use Learning Assistant. So if you forget, still on a phone, but it would be through a browser. Okay. Any questions so far? No, that's good. Okay. So down this left-hand side, I'm just going to could be 100% sample for now. You can choose it for a company. So if it's for a particular, if you work with one large employer and you want to do a sample plan based on them, then you can choose that, and you can choose it for a particular assessor. You can choose it for as many assessors as you like. And that bit is if you want to include completed learners or not. So once you've pressed save, you've set up the parameters of what you want to use your sample plan. So you can, as you click into the name of the one that I've just looked at, is that I've got on this within them parameters. So on customer service practitioner, that has got them assessors allocated to them. And then along the top, you can see all the units. So picture it almost like an Excel spreadsheet. This is going to be, for example, on here, so then they'll disappear. It'll only be in the system, but it's all at the bottom. Grey, it's not been started at all. If it's blue, it's been started by the learner. If it's green, it's been completed and assessed by the assessor. And if it's pink, like a light pink, then it's been verified, but it's not. It's outside of what you've requested. And then if it's dark pink, it means that it's been verified and you've planned to verify that. So to plan these units for verification, I know some people go on sort of a diagonal to click on that box as you like. So that one, and keep going down. So I've identified all my units that I want to verify. And then on the right hand side it says select for verification, and you press yes. You can choose a variety, anything in predicted. Created that sampling plan. Now you can see here a variety of different letters. So that one that was live, selected it for verification. It's gone down with a P in it, is saying that it's planned to be verified at some point. If you click on the box and you press select for verification and you put a date in it that was behind, is overdue on this date through. Okay, and it's being built, you'll be able to plan down into a particular outcome, and it is at a unit level. So although you don't have to assess, you plan to do something. Any questions? Maybe it only turns pink if the entire unit is verified on the assessor's page currently. Yeah, so it is only if the whole unit has been verified. Interim verification, outcome can be turns pink, like you say, if that. So the other tabs along the top, you've got referral history. Use your course. You can then type it in if you want to do a freehand observation. Or if you have your own observation sheet already, you can say see attached. You can choose the assessor that was for and when the date was and save it. And then you can attach documents to it. So you can, of your verification. These are just a snapshot view of those learners, and we call that sample plan. On the home page, you have them samples that I've had a look at by learner, by outcome, and the evidence types that I might want to see. And you can see the ones where we've put in a date, and then you can also see the ones where there's no date set. Click on that on that learner's portfolio. So it's that unit. So if you wanted to verify that unit as a whole, each of these, you can click verify right hand side. So I'll come to that in just a second. But for now, I want to have a look at 201.4 because that's all you want to have a look at. I'm going to click into it. Evidence, then you can still verify this unit. And it's not expected to. This is a customer service introduction workbook. When they're supposed to then tick where it maps across to within there. Once they've said that there is enough evidence to cover 401 completely, they confirm it in that yellow box with a green tick. So you would expect to see them yellow boxes full of green ticks. If they don't do that, then you cannot, then it will still show on your gap analysis that it's not been done. So if I then wanted to verify this unit 201, I click on verify. Oh, save. Click on verify, and then it will automatically say for that outcome. You can require the assessor's acknowledge, can upload a document into the bottom there. So if you have that form that you want them to fill out, then you can attach that in there. Okay, now you can see in the learner journey the application page, look into the complete. I can post the same box pops up, so it will say interim verification, the assessor can't see. Good work. Still need to see OBS, for example. Requires of interim feedback, use of interim verification. You can do I can then verify it and accept it. So it's all the same. The unit as a whole, individual outcome, it's all going to be in the same place. 6.1, 6. And a unit, this one here, 203.1. It's been started by the learner, but hasn't been completed by the assessor. So I'm going to click in it. And then so that on the course folder, you can then now see interim verification. So now 203, Principles of Customer Service. So if I click on been commented on, so you can see what the description and the feedback. Lovely. So that is your verification from your homepage. Now, if you wanted to, so on the left-hand side, you've got a learner course. This is where you would choose what you want to see. Search. This is all I can see now. I've got rid of that unit. So you can see whatever is relevant. See, look, it's just a centre's decision as to whether you do. Forums, again, this is a centre decision. Is what comments have been made if you want. PDRs. Now you can create your own PDR. Assessors can and learners choose to do it, but you can't see the assessors. I've raised how important it is that you guys do see that. So for your but it's a good reflection. They want to know how many hours it was. I'd recommend typing that in because if you do it with the plus sign, it goes up by 10 minutes. When it took place and submit. Once you've pressed submit, all that data will save, but you can also attach minutes or a generation to be aware of that can be used. More beneficial when you can. I don't want to teach you how to suck eggs by all means, but on here you can create a message just like an email system. So you may decide, because it's just between you and the assessor, generally you may decide just to use your normal internal email. This is used well for groups of learners, so you can send it to a group of people to plan something in. Okay. And then the final one is processes, but I need to really talk to your centre about whether this is used and it's time really. Do any of you guys know if you Is it for reporting? No, not really. It's another to-do list really for your assessors more than anything. So like for example, milestones. It could be, you know, within 2 months your learners need to be at this point. So workshops, for example, if I choose that. So from your sign up date, you will need to have attended a workshop within the first 4 weeks. After workshop 1, you need to attend workshop 2 4 weeks later. So they're time bound per learner, and that would be like a process that your assessors then have to go in and sign off, and maybe give a bit of feedback. But I can go into that with the system admin if that's of any interest to you. It just depends whether you use it or not. If it's something that you don't use, things like PDRs, forums, and processes can all get turned off, so you don't even see them within your system. Okay, great. That's fine. So that is the process of setting up your sampling plans, confirming verification, and all the bits down the side. So now it's an open forum for you guys to ask questions, for me to go over anything that I've not covered. So feel free to either unmute yourself or type in any questions. Progress tab. Do you use portfolio the lines? If I here. Okay, so this is calculated, and there's a more in-depth progression bar coming with the new user update. So it is worked out as how many units that learner's got over the time that you've put their expected to start and end date. So if it's, say, for argument's sake, they were on a 12-month program and they had 12 units, to get to 100%, you know, so every month they will be expected to have done that much of a percentage. Their started is when the learners have started maybe uploading work or mapping it in, and they have started doing something towards that unit. Completed is when the assessor has said, yes, I can confirm you're competent in that. That signs off that unit as a whole. You know, you're good to go. So you've got kind of what the learner has, what the learners started to do, and then what the assessors signed off to do. And expected is how much they should have really been done on their program over this amount of time. That makes sense? If I put in the end date. Yeah, so you need to put in your learner's end date for it to calculate. So anything else that you want to go over? Are we looking to see assessment decisions on the evidence submitted for them? But if you scan in a written piece of work, are we happy if the assessor has said it is? Sorry, I'm just trying to clarify. Are we looking to see assessment decision on the evidence? If you scan a written piece of work, are we happy the assessor said it? So that would be based on your own IQA strategy. Generally, when I was an IQA, I would have gone in to that piece of that unit, had a look at the evidence, make sure it is mapped in correctly, seen that the assessor has confirmed that it's linked to that, you know, it has achieved 1.1, 1.2, etc. And then you'd be accepting that you agree with that. I think, is that what you mean, Charlotte? Yeah, so that's within your strategy, internal. But yeah, I'd be accepting it if I agreed with what the assessor has, you know, that the assessment decision is correct and it's been mapped in correctly. If you looked at it and disagreed with the assessment decision, you'd refer it. Or if you looked at it and you know, they've incorrectly mapped something, then yes, you refer it in a general terms. How is learner written work authenticated? So written work, depending. Oh, sorry, I've just missed one. Let me just go back. Apart from the IQAing element, can you tell me why and what showcase evidence is about? So showcase evidence is to do with the new standards. So you don't have to use it. So showcase evidence is if all, you can tick them stars down in the learner's piece of evidence if I show you. And then it can be downloaded and exported. So just because it's for the standards doesn't mean that you can't use it. So this is a showcase evidence here. I like this. This bit is the best bit of the learn. Download the showcase. And then in the contact diary, open up those bits of evidence. But that from their side is authentication, because they're the only ones that has access to be able to upload. If an assessor has uploaded a piece of work for a learner, then they need to click on that require learner acknowledgement. Then the learner can tick on that, and it says when it's time and date stamped as to when they've done it. So let's see. So here we go. Me as an assessor, I gave some feedback, and then my learner acknowledged it on the 28th of January. So that's time and date stamp to say that they've acknowledged it. So there's those different kind of ways of the authentication. Okay, does that answer your question there, Joanna? Yeah, okay. Charlotte, can we use LA to encourage numeracy and literacy? So you can, every learner has up to 8 qualifications that they can have on their portfolio. So they might have their main program on there, but you can also add on your functional skills, etc., or GCSE, like if it's like only the unit, so it'd probably be more your functional skills. You can add them on, and we would encourage you to, so that the learners can then see, if they're looking at that and they've got no progression on there, then they're going to want to achieve more towards it. But you can obviously submit teaching and learning. You can contact them and send over things that you want them to do. That's kind of your predominant way. Is there anything that you were thinking of in particular that you'd like to do? What if we wanted to highlight errors using our marking scheme for literacy? So this has come up a few times recently. Obviously, you can download that piece of work and comment on it, whether it be on a Word document or something like that. But a lot of people have been writing it within the feedback, saying, you need to check your spelling on this, you need to, have a work on your grammar, etc. We are looking at building at the moment, which one of our developers is working on, that you will be able to mark those things off within or comment on different bits within that document. It's a little bit difficult to have built in the past, where you can actually open it up and then write within it, because it's not our document that we use, but it's being something that we're looking at doing. So you could open it up and maybe highlight bits within it. It's just got to be in development. Joanna, add the West tool. I'm not sure what that is. I might need a bit of clarification. Yes, essential skills, sorry, yeah, you can. Just email customer support, whoever your super user is, and get them to put on their essential skills, and then they'll show on. Yeah, any course, any program, awarding body agnostic, etc., all of it can go onto Learning Assistant. Will create anything if it's not already been built. Any other questions or anything that I haven't quite made clear? No? Great. So if that is everything, then feel free to drop off the webinar. If there's anything else that you want to know, either give me a call or support in Glasgow. They're there 8:30, 9 o'clock till about 5. They can talk you through things if I'm out and about in other bits of training, but feel free to email me if you want any more webinars setting up, etc., or give me a call and I'll talk you through anything that I can. On West, can we upload the initial assessment so learners can log on? No, so you can't upload the initial assessment, but if it's a link to something like I know in England it's like functional skills, but BKSB, or I'm not sure what you guys use, you can upload that link into it so that they can click on it, which you might want to do in the resources, or even on the learners get a home on their homepage. In that bit up there, you could add in. You can personalize that and add in the initial assessment link into there if that's how it is. But we can't build like another platform within the platform, if that makes sense. No worries. Could we have a link of the webinar today? Yeah, I'll download it and send it to you. It'll be over sort of this afternoon once, because it takes a wee bit of time to download. Great, lovely, thank you. I'll close the webinar, download it, and get it sent over to you. And then if you need anything else, let me know. All right. Have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you all soon.